Greetings, sunny, awesome, warm, positive vibrations. Today is day number 28 of 30 days of relaxation. So look how quickly life it passes by. So we have been exploring the simple practice of deep breathing to see if perhaps taking the time to be very intentional about breathing can put an interrupt in our autopilot, if it can affect our ability to relax, to calm down in the face of all the stressors that are being placed in front of us and before us, if it can somehow keep us more present inside the body and more aware, right? Rather than going like what I call an outer body experience, going along with all the thoughts that are going at breakneck speed till you forget what your goals are, till you forget the things you affirm for your life. You can be so in your mind in the screen of pictures going across your mind that you forget your promises to yourself when it comes to um, changing your consumption patterns and your consumption, your eating to a way that's in alignment with the type of vitality that you desire, the energy you desire, to be able to be free in a body that's free of, to the best of your ability, pain, because it's nice and flexible and mobile and not carrying extra baggage, old trauma that manifests in adipose tissue, excess adipose tissue or fatty tissue. So that is different than if affirming I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. If we're carrying the baggage, the excess baggage that manifests as a result of being very mindless when we're consuming in order to soothe ourselves, that has a manifestation on the body's adipose tissue, right? In addition, there are also some folks where our manifestations of baggage or stress or mindless consumption can manifest inside the body as different types of growths in the body, and or it could also manifest in ease in the body as far as altering our body chemistry, right? We are these living organisms. So, our ability to be able to respond to stress, and this is a type of muscle that we can cultivate. How we respond to stress for many of us is going to require some kind of education for ourselves and to exercise the muscle of uh, being able to respond in a way that is proactive and in alignment with our goals. So instead of eating a whole cake or a whole bag of organic chips, we're able to calm down and perhaps breathe, which we're doing here, and to have a cup of tea or to get into stretching or to lying on the floor. So we are embarking on relaxing very intentionally on purpose, using one of the greatest tools we have available to us is spiritu, spirit, which translates, actually, my godfather put me on to the breath, right? So the the air, the energy that animates this vehicle that we are in presently, that's driving us around through this human experience. So no gurus required, no religion required. I'm all about simplicity and what we can do and have access to that is sustainable. So one of those things is breath. So you're welcome and invited to find a comfortable position on the floor. It's a little chilly where I am right now, so I put some cotton on the floor underneath me. You're welcome to add a yoga block underneath your hips and your glutes to allow you more height. That can help if you feel like you have very tight hips. It can help you to open up. You're invited to roll your shoulders around, down, and back, right? So I use my clavicle as a marker so that I can have a spine that's nice and erect. And then also, we may not realize when we're tilting with slumping like this, it's actually arching the back, and then the lower back can be in pain. Quite often, that's a habit we may not notice. And so we want the spine to be nice and long so we don't have pinching and discomfort in the lower back, right, in the lumbar spine. And we want a lot, as much oxygen and blood flow to be able to travel nice and freely up to the brain, to this control center, right? And so you can draw your belly button and pull it in, just delicately pull it in to your spine, just like, put your attention there and gently pull it in. It's not sucking in your stomach, but draw your belly button into your spine, and that can help you line up. Your eyes can be closed or open, whatever feels comfortable for you. So you may just want to intuit and feel your way to what feels comfortable. You can take a hand position that feels comfortable for you. If you want to put your hands on your knees, if you want to put your hands here or fold your hands, see where your body wants to go, um, intuitively. And we're just going to breathe. Does this seem overly simple? Because simple, we have access. So here we go. So I'm making the effort to listen and dial in, to stretch out my inhale and my exhale so they're nice and long and even. And if you think of a seashell or a conch shell, that hollow, like think of the sound of the ocean. That's what we're doing to the breath. And today I'm breathing through my nose. All right, here we go. So how does that feel? You feel a little more relaxed? So now is perhaps a good time to ask a question of your own onboard divine innate intelligence that you were born with. If it's something that you're working on or working through, if it's advice, if there's something, if you're questioning which direction or which decision to make, when it's nice and quiet, this is a great ideal time to ask a question and then allow the answer to come to you now, or maybe while you're moving about during the course of the day. And notice when you can hear that part of your intelligence that is proactive, that inspires you to get into action around what you say is important and what you want to experience in this life, right? And I find that part of our intelligence, our psyche. usually will never put ourselves in harm's way or put another in harm's way. While the aspect of our psyche, the ego, and is very primal, it's not logical, can have us, which is kind of interesting. And we might say twisted, but it just operates a different way that I have come to know in my simple experience and observations and studies, that it functions to defend us, right? So if we feel insulted or it's primal, it's to help us get out of harm's way, and it has been programmed from childhood, usually through trauma, to quite often sabotage us, where we self sabotage, but it seems like it's a defense, right? So, an example of that could be played out in us um, consuming things that are unhealthy or narcotics or substances in an effort almost to protect ourselves to not have to deal. But it actually is not logical because in it can have results resulting in physiological dependency, psychological dependency, even though it seems to be defending us. And actually is not making us stronger, if that makes sense. It's actually not cultivating muscles of discernment, right? The mental muscles of discernment. So these can be some really helpful distinctions for those folks, especially when it comes to our health and getting into action around our health. So at the base and the foundation of all of that, with any kind of movement practice as well, is breathing. It's so important because we're trying to run out and do all of these things without nourishing ourselves. And nourishment is not just in physical food, it is also mental and psychic. So, where can we get that from, right? Usually, we've been raised to be dependent on religions and pseudo spiritual things. We're looking outside of ourselves when what is on board and accessible to us is the breath. So, this is day 28 that has gone by so quickly. Feel free, if you like, and if you find this helpful, to replay this in the afternoon at lunchtime, or perhaps before you go to rest, or if you just feel like you need a break. What do you have to lose by just taking the time to breathing? And I invite you to cultivate a craving for quiet, right? Maybe perhaps looking at quiet as a form of nourishment and see if you can notice, right? Does quiet make you want to do different types of activities than noise, right? Noise and anxiety. We may not consider what is coming through the screens as a type of noise. I would say that it's a type of mental noise and even irritation, right? So that's something that we're going to be exploring in the abundance, rest, and reset. So those folks that may be perhaps endeavoring to create a healthy lifestyle based in peaceful, what I'll call peaceful consumption, based around eating whole, fresh, unprocessed plants, cultivating a movement practice, and the simple therapeutic practice of something so natural as starting a garden, whatever environment that you are in. So that is going to be in the abundance, rest, and reset. So if you have questions, feel free to leave them respectfully in the comments, or you're welcome to send me a message over on the website. So I'm inviting you to create a great day on purpose because you said so. I know a lot is going on, but you can just decide. It's a choice. It's a choice to reframe your narrative and create a great day. See you soon.